What's up, guys? NottheWinner here, and I want to talk to you guys about this tanky build that I've been working on. It focuses highly on damage reduction, but also includes some healing aspects, and will include more lifesteal as the build moves on. So first of all, let's talk about the armor. So we do have 130 health due to the traits. We added the additional 30. Now, we do also have 182.9 armor. We're only getting 15% from Engineer right now out of a total 50%. But let's take that into account here. Like, if we weren't running Engineer, let's say I take this off right now. We're going to be sitting there with 159.4 armor, or 44.7%. Now, if I swap this over to Engineer, all of a sudden, we're at 182.9 with 51.6% damage reduction. Huge difference there. And when we complete the remainder of these engineer levels, it's literally going to be like, I don't know, additional, what, like 40 something armor, maybe even closer to 50 armor. So we'd be sitting at potentially close to 60% damage reduction by the end of me boosting the engineer up. I will provide an update when I reach that point, but guys, having that much damage reduction immediately without even being in the ultra weight class is insane, and that's all due to the challenger archetype. Now, you could wear 2 pieces of Leto armor with like normal gear and potentially make it out without having to worry about going into the ultra weight, but challenger archetype really helps out with that. Or there is a ring that reduces the weight, so you could potentially go with the ring that reduces the weight instead of the challenger archetype and kind of mix and match. Remember, the chest piece and the legs are the most effective, but the chest piece, obviously with 83 armor, is a huge boost compared to the other pieces. Now, speaking of the DR, we're at 51.6 right now with a very low level engineer. We also have a few other nice bonuses. So right here, when health drops below 30%, all incoming damage reduced by 25%, and I'm immune to temporary status effects. Pretty nice, actually kind of huge. And then this one here reduces all incoming damage by 3% for every 10% missing health, max of 15%. So when I'm under half, I get 15% DR, and when I'm under 25%, or when I'm under 30%, I get 25% DR from this and 15 from this, 40% total DR, along with the 51.6 I had there. Using skills regenerates 10% of my max health over 5 seconds. Using both the slam abilities from Challenger and also throwing down the turret can be very useful there. But then low yield recovery ring. Killing an enemy regenerates 5% max health over 5 seconds. Additional kills increase the duration, max of 30 seconds. So you could be constantly healing 5% of your max health every 5 seconds across 30 seconds just from killing enough small enemies. Now these two I think can be substituted out. They both cause healing, and they don't apply damage reduction. So you could sub this one out and go, okay, let me go ahead and get hardcore metal band. That way I get stacks of bulwark whenever I'm hit, so I don't get knocked back easily. And that could be great if you wanted to run like a melee lifesteal build. So you could sit here, gain 5% of melee damage as lifesteal while getting all these bulwark stacks, so you never get knocked back, right? And then run something like Vampire Blade, where when you get it to level 10, melee hits versus bleeding targets will lifesteal 3% of base damage dealt. So you're getting 3% from that, 5% from that, never getting knocked back, getting an additional 3% from your Siphoner skill, and then you can also run Bark Skin for the additional 10% DR there. So you'd be sitting at over 100% DR when you're under 30% hit points, and guess what? You still take damage, guys. You're not completely immortal, but you are really tanky. Now I'm going to go ahead and show you that tankiness now. I don't want to wait around too much longer, but I did want to show off each of the rings. We got Hardened Coil and Amber Moonstone. I believe I received both of these while I was in Yeisha. The Stream Coupler may have been a Yeisha one, I'll need to confirm, but Low Yield Recovery Ring was one that we recently got. We got it over in, what's it called here? Sorry, blanking on the name right now. It's the one that looks like the Matrix. Nerud. So yeah, that was pretty sick. And then, like I said, it's the Leto armor. You can wear whatever like other accessories you want. The lifesteal that you get from other things is nice. But let's go ahead and show this one off a little bit. And there's all sorts of other builds that you can do that are gonna heal you based on, like, for example, you could use the healing whenever you use a mod power while getting tons of mod power regeneration from other things. So it can definitely be useful. Let's just go to any mobs, actually. Let's hop over to the adventure mode in Yeisha and just go somewhere. Probably not the chimney. But over to the far woods here, and I'm just going to tank some hits, and you'll see, at first I start taking a lot of damage, But as the build continues, or as I'm taking more damage, you're going to notice I'm taking less and less damage. And the necklace that I'm running for this, it's really an optional one. When I'm below half health, which is kind of the idea of this build, always being below half health, when I'm below half, I get 30% increased damage. There's so much that you could replace this with, like obviously Weightless Weight's a good one, or here Downward Spiral for every 10% of missing health. Then you get bonus fire rate, attack speed, and that's melee attack speed as well, and then 3% range damage as well, 4% melee damage. So more melee damage, more melee attack speed, really, really useful. Or even Ankh of Power. There's all sorts of really cool ones that you could utilize in this type of build. There's also rings for dodging, and then there's like necklaces for like reloading stuff, and that could be extremely useful. Alright, something start damaging me. Let's do this. Where are you? Alright, enemies? Hello? When you finally want to show something off and no one's there to see it. Enemies, where are you? Alright, we can force enemies to spawn. I might even lose this fight for all I know, but... Oh, come on, you're not going to spawn enemies. Hi, guys. So I'm taking a little chunk. When I swing, see how I'm getting health back just like that pretty easily. And I haven't really taken a high amount of damage yet, so nothing's like in effect yet, right? Well, some of it is, but a lot of it is. But look at how little damage I'm taking from all of these hits right now. So with me dropping below where I was, look at how little it's getting. Keeps going lower, and I have root rot right now as well, so stamina's dropped. Come on. But look, my lifesteal's constantly healing me up from this. I can literally just go Q, and look, my health is healing constantly over time. And that Q is going to take out enemies like this as well, easily. Just a quick stomp, clears out the waves. I can throw this turret down, get constant healing. I can activate its ability again to get more healing. It's just kind of crazy. Like, you don't really have to worry too much about dying with a build like this. And especially if you're constantly attacking, because then you're healing the entire time that you're doing this. Hello. Okay. You see, like, even when the archer's shooting at you, just absolutely knows where you're at. And obviously, guys, there are higher difficulties. This is on Veteran, the second difficulty. The one that, the third difficulty, it doesn't suggest for your first playthrough. We're just now finishing our first playthrough. And look, I'm not dodging, I'm just tanking. Look at how little the damage it's gotten. Gonna throw out a quick one of those. Quick swing over this guy. Hello. I'm still healing. Alright, so he's gonna pop up, he's gonna stab a few more times. But you see, like, it's tough to die with this setup. You need to really, like, be not trying to live. Okay. Throw that out, no healing. And I haven't used any hearts yet, as you can see. I also have the Challenger buff, so even if I do go down from these guys, I actually revive. Like, I'm not gonna die even if these guys kill me. But it's crazy how little the damage that they're dealing is compared to how much they might deal to someone who's wearing just a little bit less armor than this, you know? Alright. I've had enough of your nonsense. Okay. You gotta keep coughing, of course. Sir, I will deal with you in a minute. I'm talking to my friend here, the Remnant. But yeah, pretty casual experience there. Nothing too stressful. Kill that guy. But you guys saw, I was letting them hit me. Like, really letting them hit me. Get ourselves another hollowed egg there, and we got like the Bloodburn Temple there. But really letting them do whatever they could possibly try to do to try and stop me, and nothing was enough to really hurt me, especially when my health got lower. You saw I was barely taking any damage at all. If you guys think this build is cool, or maybe have suggestions to make it even stronger than it already is, please let me know in those comments down below. I'm excited to see what your potential ideas are. As you guys can see, the skill one's useful, the killing enemy one is extremely useful as well, so that's constant healing while you're being this tanky. So it may be a good option to not even add any more DR, just stacking the Hardened Coil and the Amber Moonstones enough, and then just finishing out the Engineer perk to max out the DR from this, and obviously keep your trait DR. I feel pretty much immortal with that, and if I do get my armor where I want to get it to, I'm likely going to be sitting there with close to 60% damage reduction. Now, it might be a little bit under, it might only be 55, and I'm fine with that. But if you have 60% base DR, and then 10% from your traits, that's 70% before you even take damage. And then when you're just under half, then you're at 85%, and then when you're under 30%, you're at 110% DR. That is insane to me, and having everything be able to heal you is insane. If this helped you guys come up with a build that would allow you to defeat almost anything in the game, then let me know in those comments down below. And if you're playing on higher difficulties, yes, I realize that different builds will be viable depending on difficulty. This one could be a really, really fun melee boxer type build if you were to, like, instead of the Royal Broadsword, get like boxer gloves and go vampire. If you can put vampire blade on the boxing gloves, but like throw something like that with the melee lifesteal ring that I was talking about. So just stack all those together. You could potentially stand up in an enemy's face and just punch it and survive the entire battle just by punching. Because if you go for the anti-stagger from this one, then the enemies aren't knocking you back or knocking you down as easily, so you just sit there and just start punching and never die. So I'm excited to try out a boxer build. It's something that I loved in the previous game, but I might be missing an accessory or two to max that one out. So if you guys are excited to see a build like that, make sure you guys like and subscribe, and I'll have plenty other build videos coming your way. Thanks for watching.